Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and to part 2 of the R6 R build. To start off guys, I just got back for the day, wanted to check out the bike. First thing I wanted to do is look at the engine. So being priority number one, we got to make sure it's running before we can put it back together. The new frame did come in, and one thing about the frame, basically this motorcycle is no longer a motorcycle because the frame's what the title goes to. So no matter what you do, it's kind of like a gun. The frame will be always serialized, so the serial now will be that frame there. Just as a side note. Anyhow, as far as the motor, so all I did was double checked with the inspection hole over here, trying to turn everything over with the 12mm socket. It stops. I can hear it kind of crunch, which is not a good noise. So I just decided real quick pull off the valve cover and see what I could see. Keep in mind, the valve cover had this smashed upper, whatever kind of PCV valve or whatever that's for is, so it could potentially have gotten down into the motor through those holes right there. And looking at this thing, I was kind of looking over and said, everything looks pretty good until I got to right there. Can you see the broken metal there? I'm kind of hoping that that is just the pieces from the valve cover, and that's clearly what it's basically stopping on right there. So I'm going to try to basically take some of these bolts out without having to lose time, and see if I can lift this enough to clear that out, because right now it's holding down the valve cap, which is basically one of these here, these little caps. It's holding it down and not letting the cam spin. So I don't know if there's tension on these cams or not, if I loosen it up, if it's going to pop or move over here. But I'm going to try it nonetheless. If I have to retime, I have to retime it. But if this is worst case scenario, just some of that debris down there and that's what's stopping it from turning over, we got really, really lucky. So let me go ahead and try to loosen these up and see what we can do with it. Alright guys, so again, all I did was I pulled off all the caps. I didn't really need to pull this side yet, unless I have to. I will. Hasn't moved out of time yet, but the news isn't very good news. So if you look there, the metal isn't from that valve cover, it's from our caps. You can kind of, well, you can see a piece right there actually. That is our cap, and not just one, but two. Now I gotta get all that cleared out of there to see if the valves are damaged. More than likely they probably are. And worst case scenario, I've never rebuilt a four-stroke engine. I've taken a lot of them apart, but I've never put one together. So worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to get the service manual, and I will have to revalve it and retime it. So there's been a million people that have done this before, so it's not gonna stop us now. Anyhow, I also have to look through the rest of the engine just to make sure there's no other damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean some of this up, get as much of that metal out of there as I can, and then see where we can move forward from there. Alright guys, so it looks like I'm going to have to pull this head. Again, I've never done this before, at least not with the intentions of putting it back together afterwards. On a disassembly or a part out, typically I'll just cut the chain right here, and then pull it out, and then take the bolts out and pull the head off. This one we want to keep the chain, if I don't have to replace it, because again, this is more money in the hole here, so we're trying to salvage as much as we can. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to take out these two bolts here. There's two nuts here on the other side. I should be able to pull this cover here, and there should be some kind of tensioner for the chain inside there that I can remove and then pull the chain and the head right out of this thing. So follow with me. Let's see what we can get done. So I got the upper bolts out, got the lower case cover, the timing cover off, and I was looking for the tensioner. I'm like, wait a minute, the tensioner is always somewhere coming from the side, and duh. I'm pretty sure that's it right there, so I gotta take this off. Then you'll see the valve guides, or the timing chain guides, will loosen up, and then hopefully I can maneuver these things out of here and pull this head off. So let's go ahead and move forward and get that done. Alright guys, easy so far. So again, I pulled off the tensioner right here. The guides loosened up. Was able to take the other two caps off and lift off the cams. And here you can see the chain here. And then all we have left is what do these things are called, lifters here to pop off. And then we have our main studs, which you'll see one here, one there. There should be 2, 4, looks like 6 of them, 8 of them in total. The top here. So we're gonna pull all those out. Which, if I remember correctly, if it's anything like jet skis, they're not reusable. So it's kind of a one-time use. You twist them all the way in, and then you have to like crank them like another quarter turn, and it twists the metal or something like that. So I may have to order new ones of those. But I mean, I really wish I could fix that. And maybe I can, I don't know, I just almost don't trust 15,000 RPMs and on 2 wheels to to lock up for doing something kind of ghetto rigged. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let me get this thing pulled off real quick. Alright guys, check it out. These are a little bit different. They're not bolts, they're some kind of nuts. Never seen that before, which maybe those are reusable. Hopefully they are. Saves a little bit of money, but anyways, everything's off now. I should be able to yank this thing off if I did everything right. By just kind of grabbing it and... It's like something's still caught. Definitely still caught on something. Let me look into it and see what it might be. Okay, so I think I'm not 100%. I think it's this heat shield here. I just pulled it out underneath. See if that did any better. Still doesn't seem like it wants to come from me. Oh, there it is. Alright. Oh, we got a hose attached, that's why. Well, there it is. There's the pistons. So there's our pistons. We can see a little bit of rust, but those don't look terrible. I feel like that could be saved. There's our stuck valves, and they are definitely stuck. So, yeah, we're gonna definitely need a head. Things falling out. Anyways, there it is apart. So let me try to recondition this the best I can. Clean up some of these pistons and see if I can reuse these cylinders. Alright, so check it out guys, the cylinders actually cleaned up pretty well, and they move easily. So what I did was I used a kind of a fine steel wool, if you can see that. I just cleaned it up with some steel wool and some PB Blaster, then sprayed it down with some carbon choke cleaner to get some of the grime off it. No serious scrubbing, just basically rubbed it off, and it actually looks pretty good. But if I go ahead and hold my timing chain and spin it, you'll notice that it spins freely and good. Oh, sorry, I'm locking it there. It's kind of neat because I've never seen an engine where they run the outside cylinders together than the inside cylinders together for timing. So kind of a cool setup. But I think our bottom end's perfect. I'll be honest with you, I think it's really good. So I don't think we have any issues there. But I do have to order obviously a head gasket and figure out something with the head. Now whether that head gets repaired, is even repairable, or I just buy another head, either way it's going to have to happen. So let's go ahead and move forward. Alright guys, so I just cleaned up the head a little bit, the bottom side of it anyhow. I got a little bit more touch up to do around the edges and stuff, but for the most part it cleaned up pretty good. Look at the top half of it here. Our problematic side. I don't know if you can see on camera or not, but the valves are bent. I assume they are at least because I got the lifters off by just simply tapping the valves from the bottom in with a nice rubber mallet, like very lightly. They moved easily, but it just kind of smashed in there. And if you can see that or not, the center of the valve coming through, it is not centered, so it's kind of holding the spring down. I do know I've done valve work before in BMWs if you've watched my videos back then. Basically this spring has to be compressed farther down, and there's two little tiny magnets that kind of are cone shaped and clip around the edge of that the valve there, and then that thing slides back up over top of it, and that's what kind of holds it in place. But I need to get those out. I'm almost considering right now, I'm kind of on the edge. I'm not really sure if I'm going to order another head or if I'm going to bring this to a shop and see what they say. I may just bring this to a shop to see if it is repairable, because it's not really that bad. If I can get away with buying two valves and lifters and whatnot and have them hone it out or whatever they have to do, and it's going to be safe, I'll do it. If not, then I'm just going to buy another head and I'll sell this one for parts or whoever is going to mess with it. So that's it for this part. Let's go ahead and move forward. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a wrap for the day on this video. I apologize, I know it is a shorter video than normal. But we do have to stop at the machine shop tomorrow and talk with the guys about whether the head is good or not, whether I have to find a replacement or what we're going to do with that. So there will be another video tomorrow with more disassembly and moving forward with the build. So all the typical stuff, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not already subscribed, or even if you are, tell other people. It helps build the channel. So if you know anything that I don't know regarding this build, please share those comments, because I am learning just like you guys are. So with that said, appreciate you coming out. See you soon.